Hey you guys, good morning. It's MJ from I UNPLUG. How are you? I'm in a bit of a funny mood, I'm not gonna lie. And yesterday was wild. I will endeavor to share more with you uh as as a few days pass, because it's like just sort of personal family stuff. Uh on a note that is relevant to these discussions, stuff like happened which was fairly kind of like relevant to things that we discuss here, let's just say that. And I had some emotion come up yesterday and some pretty powerful energy shifts, and there was a pretty sort of heavy-handed sense of clearing out some. Hey Sergio. I love it. Is it live? Sure is, bud. It sure is. Oh my gosh. What? Hey. Yeah. I love you. Okay, yeah. So basically it's still a very similar theme of like the structures of our lives are crumbling. Love right back at you from the UK, my friend. I'm still kind of waiting for a little bit of an update. So, yes. And for some reason that's making me think of one of the shares about like the shakeups and the breakups, and how like for a lot of us there's a whole bunch of like random unexpected like twists and turns, and a lot of it isn't big physical like shocking things necessarily. It's like, certainly this is what I'm aware of, and yesterday's share as well, is like the shifts are subtle, and like oftentimes there's stuff that's going on inside our own heart. And you know, we can so easily think that we're, hello Miss Holly, and how are you from West Florida? So yeah, and I guess it's like amazing to me, right? Especially when we're like reading spiritual text and or law of attraction stuff. And we bang on and talk about like expectation to or expectation, and the other expression is attachment to outcome. And we're like, yeah, surrender. Yeah, surrender it. I have no attachment. And like we stump ourselves up. Like we get to a certain point and things don't go how we thought they were going to go, and we're like, huh? And then all this other stuff comes up, and then we have all these other things going on in our lives, and I don't think, certainly I'm having this awareness of like, I really don't know in any way, shape, or form, like in the mental perspective, in an intellectual human mental perspective, trying to think like, oh yeah, I know that, I know exactly what's gonna happen, or I think, and yet it's not to deny our power, it's not to deny our manifestation ability. I would just say, I'll speak for myself because that's how I roll, but like, the ego lessons that break us down continue to kind of like hit up against. It's like, it's not going to happen that way. Like, stop being an ego, or stop being so gosh darn egotistical or whatever. I think that learning to manifest is heavily why we are wizards in training. And like, think about all the epic lessons that Harry Potter and Hermione and Ron learned along the way before they defeated Voldemort. Like, we all have those sort of ups and downs and trials and tribulations and initiations and things that we go through that are empowering our truth, right? So hi April. And I would say it's just this like, and that's all this is, right? Is, hey Emmett, how are you? Harry Potterish. Yeah, well, and I think about those sort of epic tales, and I think about the moments along the course of that story where Harry would have been like in the depths, like literally about like just being like wizarded wizarded by Voldemort and whoever else. Like, you spark of light and love, child, you are going to die. But isn't it interesting that like part of the Voldemort energy is like, I want to possess you, Harry. I want to own you. I want to take that light from you and make it my own. I.e., the systematic illusion of fear wants to control us, wants to control the light because it wants to be the most powerful wizard. And a bunch of us are sort of like Harry's and Hermione's all waking up going, no, actually, like, that's not cool. And then we're like, okay, we're gonna have to be super duper powerful. And so I always think of those like cruxy moments where Harry is literally about to be taken out. And then in the film, he has, okay, Sergio, yes, please send me a message. I want to know what's going on in your life. And he's literally like, whoo, and like he's got the wand and he's like shining it at Voldemort. And it's not even like he finds more brute strength. Ooh, interesting. How was Aquaman? Somebody recently was talking to me about like comics and Marvel versus DC, and I'm a little bit behind apparently on the whole Marvel. I mean, this is what happens when you literally have no contact with mainstream media. People are like, oh yeah, so-and-so's making a new movie. I'm like, who? What movie? I have no idea what's going on in the world of Hollywood. So yeah, so Harry Potter is in those moments where he's like, huh. And then what always brings him through is like, in the light of his awareness, he remembers his friends. Oh, look, I'm super emotion premenstrual, but like that could make me cry. He remembers his friends. I loved it. I felt Aquaman's parents were twin flames under Bridge of the Rose. Interesting. So like when he's just about to die, or he could literally, he could give his power to Voldemort and be like, okay, Voldemort, you can have my power. Don't kill me. Stop this silliness. But in Harry's little heart, he's like, but I love my friends, and love is true, and the goodness of the world and the goodness of humanity is real. And then he'll like think about all that love hot vibration, and then he'll be like, whoa, and he'll have more power to right? Oh, the feels. OMG, you guys. Oh, cool, Fifth. I love that when you guys can connect dots. Missy, yep, they said that in the movie, they are the bridge. Yeah, interesting, because like I use that expression a lot as well, as far as like, yeah, we are the bridge. We are literally building bridges so that people can walk over from old paradigm to new paradigm. Brazen R. Trials and tribulations, yes. The more in tune we are with our senses, the more we understand. Yeah. If we don't pay attention to the senses the universe gave us, just round and round we go. Yes. It's so true. I.e., systematic living is just war after issue after issue. It's like, I think a lot of us in this generation are just a bit like, guys, like, what the actual fuck are you doing? Like, it's been well over 100 years and we don't seem to be able to sort this World War thing out. Like, why can't we fucking get along? Anywho, love light. Love light for everybody. Love light is winning. Although, like, I say it with that binary aspect of, like, I've popped out of a lot of, like, so-called spiritual circles because everyone's just like, love and light. Love and light. And then as soon as something triggers them, it's not love and light anymore, it's rage and anger. And except for me, I'm like, yeah, but it's still contained in a bubble of love and light. Even the world's atrocities, in my view, although you could say the love light vibrashe is like kind of corrupted by control, domination, divisive tactics by the overlords of time. I am We don't need to go into that, do we? Basically, guys, we're good because we're feeling our senses, right? The coolest thing happened at my apartment in the morning. Hundreds of birds flying counterclockwise. The pond here for about an hour. It's magical. How beautiful. There's something there, I feel, Amit. I wonder if they're doing some kind of like ritual, but like there's something else coming in around that. And I'm still sitting with and or brewing with all the like the 5G stuff. Because I feel like, oh yeah, Brazen Art, it was something you mentioned about like shutting it down. Oh, blackouts and stuff? I'm not sure if that, like, blackouts, disconnect everybody, and then get that kind of 5G thing happening. Although I still really intuitively feel that this is like an apex of the shift, right? Apex, does that make sense? Like it's like the pinnacle of our, it's like every world war has been leading to this, where everyone's like, guys, you can't keep like dictating your bullshit to us anymore. And then the 5G, we're just like, okay, thanks, bye. And then they're like, ha! Like all the little parasitic dark field energy just pops off this field, and we're like, oh god, great, now we can think more clearly, now we can restore the planet, right? Other side. Ooh, I like that, Emmett. Take a photo for sure. Mr. MBB. Oh, I think you've shared Fifth. I think you've shared some of Mr. MBB's stuff. I feel like I've watched it. Yeah, you guys have an understanding of stuff going on in the sky in a more kind of direct way. It's like all of us have these functions, right? And how we're perceiving understanding, and then be able to kind of share and communicate how the information's being downloaded. JK, crescendo. There's another good word. Thank you. Building up to this ultimate crescendo, right? And then here's a funny one. In the binary swing of that contrast, where I'm like, life. And like, even though the crescendo could literally just be living in peace, like it's not like crescendo has to be some moment that we might think as far as like the big dream, right? Roots. I could say the same to you, my friend. Hi, good morning. Although, wait, are you still up from 2? Like now it's, I guess conventionally it's more acceptable to wake up. Thank you. And to wake up, wait, what am I saying? It's more normal to like be awake until 2 in the morning and then go to bed like late at night. I went to bed at 7 o'clock because I had some drama yesterday, and then, well, it's not like the drama puts me to sleep. I'm like, I just go to sleep early sometimes. Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you're awake. Yeah, so that's me. It's like 1 in the morning, and then I get ready, and the thing is that I have friends, right, I have friends way over, well, friends and family, right? I have in the West Coast, so over in Vancouver, people in Seattle, people Montana. So it's like, so all those people, so basically what I was saying is that when I'm waking up really early, it's like nighttime over there. So like it's kind of a good time randomly, and also like I have no social life. So I go to bed early and in some such ways look after myself. In other ways, this is really weird. Did I share this yesterday? I think I did share this yesterday. This funny old realization of like the last 3 months being like, wow, I think I've been processing loads of like depression energy. And like now as I'm sharing this with you guys, I'm like, considering my mom was fairly depressive growing up, fairly hardcore depressive growing up. It makes sense, like at this stage, this turning point, that I'm reviewing all of that that energy. And I was just totally in non-judgment, obviously, because I was still sharing every day. But when I look back at how society would have defined what I went through these last 3 to 4 months, they'd be like, oh yeah, like that's some sort of depression. You're like, oh, okay. I do have a couple things to tell you. Are you talking to me? April. You mentioned it, I think, in the last video. Yeah, I did, like, just yesterday, right? About being like, oh, that's interesting. And, like, how amazing is it, really, with the spring energy coming through and being like, like, there's, yeah, there's just new energies coming through. Which brings me back to this share. So quite, in a kind of, like, real scientific way, even, yeah, possibly. But there was also specific things that dropped in. But of course, I mean, April, I swear to God, at this point, like, a lot of our big purges or a lot of our big waves are collective clear outs. Certainly for a lot of us, the connections we're making, the relevant story timelines that connect to the entire collective, i.e. stuff. The reason we resonate is, like, my life force or whatever is representative of a dominant mass of women in the West, for example. For someone, a new good friend, they're like, their masculine upbringing would have been a dominant, so, like, the way he works through it is the share and kind of potential bridge for the next wave of men who are going through their awakening. So our going through it is representative of an entire group consciousness of humans that are basically, in essence, going to resonate. And so there's going to be enough of a resonance to activate and then usher them along in a much quicker way. That's kind of how I see the waves keep going, is that they just keep getting faster and faster, right? Yeah, the energies are, and it's pretty dynamic, right? As in the swing and the polarity. I talk about the binary action, the contrast, the swing, the sway. It's all happening really, really, really fast. Somebody, I think it was Cosmic Christie, mentioned in one of her videos about things that used to take maybe, I can't remember what the actual timing was, but say things that would take a 2-week period, i.e. a transformational energetic shift. She was talking about that would take like a 2-week period. She says now is happening within 3 hours. And that I really kind of, it hit me in as far as, like, that makes sense to me, as far as, like, these interesting binary situations of, like, a polarity where things are happening so quickly on an energetic level, and yet things are still normal on a 3D level, but they're not normal. And it's like everybody, more and more people, everyone is coming online going, something's not right, something's not right, something's up. It's like the masses are slowly anticipating waking up to the lie, waking up to the deception, starting to face stuff, right? And so there's sort of this build-up anticipatory energy coming in to the kind of broader collective. And so it's, I would say those of us a little bit more tuned in, hence, are just more in the review phase, but we're also anchoring in new energies, and straight up there's energy leaving. And that was just part of the premonish intuish yesterday, was that there's some energetic densities that aren't necessarily going to be able to carry on in the body, in the physical vessel. The bombardment of energies coming in now are not conducive with their energetic patterns. Yeah, Dharma. And I'm aware of that as well in my own existence. It's like, because especially with the body stuff, it's like, for me, it triggers a lot of control patterns. So I'm having to see these, it's like this next layer of control patterns coming out to show itself. And it's kind of annoying sometimes, because you're like, God damn it, I thought I dealt with you. I just want to be free. But then what I'm acknowledging is that, like, there was still a layer of me running. There was still a layer of my ego bullshit and judginess. There was still a layer of, and so I'm like, all right, you know, like, okay, I'll go through it again, fine. I'll look at it again, fine. I'll be with the loathing, the hatred, the fear, whatever it is, the poverty, the lack, I'll be with that. Again, no problem. I'm not. So it's like non-reactivity, like toward any circumstances, toward any encounter. It's not necessarily the easiest thing ever, but I think we're doing a pretty good job. The fact that we even fucking understand what we're all talking about, I think is pretty gosh darn miraculous. The fact that, like, there's a bunch of us just sort of creeping our heads out, like, in YouTube land, be like, guys, is anyone else having these sorts of fucking weird experiences, which are shape-shifting our bodies and our realities? And it would appear that there are, you know? And, like, and still a bunch of us are a little bit, like, weirdos in our own little worlds, in our own little communities. But I sort of have a feeling, I think that's going to start to shift a little bit. Like, I think these awakenings are, I keep seeing something happening to the system, and like, maybe it's a video in me, but it's also, I keep seeing like a hammer hitting a TV, like, and I just feel like we all know this already on the energetic. Oh, right. There's always another layer. Right. And I'm pretty sure. So again, there's this binary reflection. It's like the delayering, each delayering rises us into like a higher rise. So there's greater clarity, there's greater joy, there's greater peace. We're like, you know, we're vibrating more in alignment with our truth because there's a maturation to our knowingness. And then when we have a review phase, when we get to go over something, it's almost a little bit more annoying. It's almost a little bit more like, like I just want to crawl out of my skin. I'm so uncomfortable. I thought I dealt with you. And then you're like, oh, wait. It's an illusion. It's illusion. It's trying to get you to react. And you're like, oh, yeah. So I have to, like, practice not being reactive about this shit, but it's so intimate, it's so close. A lot of us is like in the body as well, so we're just like but at least again there's these platforms for sharing, and I think there is some sense of relief as well, right? So it's an illusion, it is an illusion, but obviously not in a simulation way. I love the way Roots was describing. Is this in Root's latest? I saw the update, but I haven't watched that one yet. Which I will, because I really appreciate having all these different reflections where I can sense that we're not attacking one another. It's purely just like everyone's getting the different downloads, and like a lot of things are hitting us as far as I think these communities and soul families and recognitions, and being like, wait a minute, I know you, I know who you are. And it's like, because we actually know, knowing of the self. And oh, girlfriend, you needn't diminish. I swear sometimes the ramble nuggets are the juiciest. Sometimes when I'm like, yeah, I'm on my shit, it's not as juicy nuggety. I think the rambling is actually this really open gateway for us to go more abstract and for us to actually cover more topics, right? Versus this, because I think from old paradigm, we all have a lot of these fear programs that we actually work through to even get to this point. Hi guys, well done us. To even get to this point, to be engaging online and to be able to put yourself online, because even people have loads of fear about putting themselves online, right? And then those of us were like cracking out, being like, I can't, I have to speak out, I have to share, I have to see if there's others, you know? And I think as we do that, because we don't want to be in some bracket of expertise, or like, we don't want to necessarily be in, I don't know, whatever these waves are, I just get a sense of being in another wave, in another geometric cluster of the earth worker / light worker movement of like people going, it's not that, so let's focus on this. And all we're doing here is focusing on creative expression and kind of energetic download and stuff. Hey Kurt Mill, I'm looking forward to the collapse of this dang old outdated paradigm though. Fuck man, tell me about it. And this is something as well, although love and light, this is something my mom would joke around about all the time when like people be like, that's nice. She tells a joke about about this Southern belle who would always say, "That's nice." But in her mind, she was saying, "Fuck you." So yeah, you know those people that you love so much, and then you just go, "That's nice." And yeah, there's a kind of a wicked sense of humor, but hey ho, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? So yeah, so I think actually having each other and our reflections back. Oh yeah, back to the love and light. Thanks, you guys. But and I went through this a whole bunch when I was like proper spending a lot of money on my healing journey and on my courses and learning and all of that, like just, yeah, sinking in a lot of energy into that world, and then seeing these different angles to it all and realizing people are just people, and like even in the spiritual communities I was thinking, but why are you telling me that, and da 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 da, and that doesn't feel nice, and but it's all love and light, and I'm like, okay. But then I realized I'm like, saying shit like that can often just be a mask. Love and light. I'm like, okay, fine. But I'm feeling like there's some insecurity here. I'm feeling like there's some fucking anger here. I'm feeling like there's a little bit of jealousy here. And then like, love and light. Love and light. Although I love how I'm like this share. I'm like, but love and light is winning. Love and light is the kind of greater truth potency. You just have to get that, like the love and light energy contains our ability to direct consciousness. And so the love and light stuff can, of course, just create more illusions if it's not anchored anywhere. So all of the spiritual teachings like love and light, but if we're not, i.e. processing emotional storms and doing the transformational work of owning our stuff, then we're just deflecting it back. Hence why we go into patterns. But if we embody the light, like this is what happens when I'm hitting stuff and I'm transforming stuff, is like like feeling this, seeing all these sheaths of layers of programming and having these reflections of people's energies, bodies that are carrying so much pain, and then just being like like feeling it like actually rising up and moving out of my body and being like and then eventually it goes. And in that moment, when I'm like feeling, again, how do you describe this shit, like aeons of oppression, or feeling the depth of corrupted darkness from myself or another being, but inside my awareness during that pain, I'm the light inside. I'm like the light, loving all of that experience, being like, you're all right. And so like, I know in that moment that I'm like, I'm loving the pain of my father, or I know in that moment that I'm loving the pain of my mother, or like my ancestors or my brothers and sisters, right? So hence my kind of passion for, let us not deny our feelings, let us not run away, especially being guided to this gosh darn country. Where am I? The UK, and people call it people actually have this expression here, the British stiff upper lip. It's like, I don't know, it's like there's some weird nobility in not feeling, and I'm like, okay. So in your superiority, you're just better than all other human because you don't express emotion. And I'm not sure exactly how we've come to this point, but I'm pretty sure collectively lids are popping off and people are becoming acutely aware of the fact that if we don't acknowledge our grief, if we don't acknowledge our pain, it destroys us, essentially. And it destroys the other as well. Am I scratching? I don't know. Whatever do you mean by that? I'm like, do I have scratches on my face or on my body? I don't know. Emmett, sounds like you have an Anaki in you, MJ. Really nice. But don't get on our bad side. I don't know. Tell me about that. But it is better to give love and light no matter what. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I think love and light is a mask sometimes. I'm now reading your, by the way, I had a dream about you, MJ. I'll text you next time about it. Yeah, message me about it. Oh, by the way, like, that is pretty wild, actually. I'm starting to get, more messages from viewers about having dreams about me. I'm looking forward to the collapse of this dang old. I know, Kurt, I'm blatantly, like, I'm aware that you've not been around, and I've had a couple moments of, like, where's Kurt? Where's happening? Me too, 5th, I'm always in 5D or higher, hard to be down in 3D. It's so boring. Well, and I don't even feel much of a resonance with it anymore, if that makes sense. Like, it's like there's such awareness of it that we're always kind of floating around it, if that makes sense to any of you guys. Like, it's like we've anchored in, I would say probably maybe over the last 7 to 10 years, we've been really grounding and anchoring in the process, the energies, the light. And over these maybe last, increasingly or in an accelerated sense, these last year and then building up in these last few months, the anchoring has then been going boom, boom. And so it's like, I feel incredibly grounded, more grounded than ever. And yet in my awareness field, I know that there's a total unity or emergence with the intuition, the higher self. And so there's always that, you could say, the 5D perspective. There's always a there's always a kind of, yeah, that higher perspective that we're looking at, right? Hold on. I think the energy scrambled AI even more. Oh, girlfriend. 5th, April. I also wanted to reach out with you. I want to make sure I have your right email address, because I've wanted to send you a couple voice calls and I haven't. And so that could be an aspect for you in at the same time, I feel like that scrambly type energy, I think, is also part of the overall energies right now. I'm not an astrology guru, but like the Neptunian energy, this weird, like, it's like we're really going out to the edge, so everything will feel a bit confusing and a bit like, but like, again, with this binary aspect, we're not as rooted in that 3D, and so we're just watching it, which is where we can be more of a love light presence for people, because we're not reactive. And we're not trying to we're not trying to, that's funny, Violet, your message about don't push too hard, and then what I was thinking was about, we're not here to push stuff on people. It's not about preaching. And more of us, what I'm sharing with people, or people in private sessions as well, is like our ability to say no, and or our ability to kind of just walk past certain groups if there's a gossipy type of energy, and or energies that you just don't vibe with anymore. It's like, just don't engage with it. Have the strength to either say no or just keep on walking, walk away. And I referred it to what Abraham Hicks talks about, of like vibrational snobbery. There, throughout, I would say, this journey, there's a sense of us that we need to really step into our power, and there's discernment around the stepping into the power, because I think oftentimes people react to that, and especially for the empath, even though our being in our power might feel really good to us, if someone is reacting, we might go, oh, no, it's not safe for me to be here. It's not safe for me to be in this power. Look, other people are reacting, or other people don't like it, or it's making so-and-so feel uncomfortable, and da-da-da-da. And so and in a sense, I gotta say, I think we just you have to work through that. You have to get over that, and you have to be able to see that that's their shit, and that you can take on their shit and make yourself feel small and shitty, like how you're making them feel, even whether or not they're in denial or open about it. Or you can just be like, oh, okay, that's how they're feeling, but wait, yeah, I feel good doing this, so I'm gonna stand up a bit taller. I'm gonna keep expressing myself. Like, there was a lot of this local community here that as soon as I sort of started the vlogs and started doing public speaking, they didn't want to come to my yoga anymore. They're like, just stick to the yoga. Like, just stick to the breathing. We don't really want to hear what you have to say about the world, you know? And exactly, like, that's the yoga community and the spiritual well-being community. It's like, just focus on the breath and the body. Like, don't speak your truth. Don't talk. And that is this last few phase of processing and healing and transforming the persecution energy, the betrayal energy, the denial energy. You know, having people in these well-being communities basically deny me or gossip about me and do these things that energetically an empath can feel, you know, and it gets all twists up. But what I'm really seeing more is like the kind of reflection back of the fall of the narcissist. Because they've got nothing to latch into. Yes, I can't keep battling the perceived enemy, but it seems like nobody else is doing it. I'm compelled to be in the places that I am, so I just can't stop. The clouds are super low. I think we are feeling the waters above. Oh, there's something in that. So yeah, 5th, I just want to get your email and, I'm pretty sure we've had emails, but I want to confirm the email. There's just a few of you, we're having some sort of light chats, but it's noodle worthy. So it's stuff that like I reflect back on and like I feel into it because there's something there. I'm hearing like the ethereal waves, the ethereal waters. And there's the sense of also like the fall of the patriarch. So it's like the old energy is dying out, the hard edges. And in a way it can be quite painful to grieve that, but like at the same time that's the density of that energy. It's the density of that energy state of being, right? That's dying. Not the humanity, not the divinity spark in any one human vessel, but it's the pain. It's the suffering patterns of the collective that are actually being washed out, that are being cleansed. And we do have to cleanse it from within. Because obviously we know this, it's the actual act of the cleansing, which is one and the same as the like embodiment process. So we can't embody more of the light that we are without cleansing ourselves of the darkness, right? Absolutely. And I would sense that. Let's just keep doing our things. And I think we meditate, we relax, we, you know, take care of ourselves to the best of our ability. And it's like really just ground in. Hey there, Omega. Yes, please. I remember this. You popped into my mind as well as far as like, hey, I wonder if he's been around. Interpretation. I'll give you my in-depth interpretation. Yes, please. That's all right. I do feel some of that kind of procrastination energy. I've certainly been living on the edge when it comes to these online courses that I'm creating. And although I've kind of always been like this, I kind of charge forward and I often, I move quite quickly. So I'm aware that I can kind of leave things to the end. And I almost do it intentionally to sort of build up this little inner pressure valve, which then focuses my energy and it lets me get it done. That's why I threw crystals in the pond and healing vibration, primordial waters. You guys, like, this is why I love you. This is why I love you. It's like the premonition, intuition, vibrashe. So, yeah. Like, this is why I think we need each other just to show up and remind each other of the work we're doing, because like there's things that are happening and it's things that we're all doing and it's all working. Basically, is this share something like love light wins the game or something like that? Like global paradigm shift, or love light is winning. And I think that's what it's starting to turn. I think people are having enough, or there's like a tipping point now that's been reached with the, for the win. Thank you, Dharma Dharma. Love light for the win. Yeah. I think more and more are getting kind of turned on to that. And hence why I'm like, yay, you know, it's moving in our direction. We're not the crazies anymore. More and more people are like, actually, you're talking a lot of sense. They're like, yeah. And then I think because of the mounting insecurity and like unsureness with the mass dominant program, yes, we have tipped the scales. So because of that mass dominant program and our just anchoring in and processing and anchoring in, it's just miraculous because it's instantaneous, isn't it? It's like we're just living in the higher dimensions now. It's just where we are. It's just what happened, you guys. Of course, yeah. And Violet, I think that's why we stay really anchored in it, right? My Arcturian Reiki friend and I are gonna, like, it makes me feel so, like, in love with life and so thankful that we're all here doing the work. Rochelle shared something with me about the volunteers. I don't know if any of you guys resonate with the idea of the volunteers. I really do. Like, I actually have visions, i.e. cosmic memories of, like, floating around the earth at the time of Atlantis. Like, I know. I have memories of when I entered the universe. I have memories. And it was, like, but this is something I've known in an intuitive, primordial sense since my earliest awakenings when I was, like, 19 at the University of British Columbia. I knew I was having these awakenings where I knew that I responded to a call. Where I was like, the only reason I'm here is because Earth called out. And I was like, all right. Divine light, love, guardians of the universe. We're gonna go to Earth. And then here we are, many, many lifetimes later, like, we're still alive, you guys. Our brothers have not seen us yet. Yeah, we're rising. Woohoo! Taught my son word magic tonight. We're bringing back magic back. We sure are, you guys. We just keep on doing what we're doing. Thanks, Fifth. Thank you for that reminder. I'm getting a real strong sense of going over to your channel today. I get a lot of your written updates as well. So I'm going to watch Root's recent one, and I'm going to go watch one of Fifth's one. You guys, I think that's it. Danielle. Hey, Danielle. How are you? I'm unraveling the mystery of Sophia. There's a lot of language that you use, Fifth, that I'm intrigued by. Lots of stuff you've mentioned in your channel as well. I've randomly gone and looked into. And I find it fascinating, your and Mike's channel and all the other, like, the Skywatchers and stuff, because it's what you see is it, and somehow just the words and, like, it's like a vibrashe. It really is vibrashe beyond just words, but, like, I don't know. It's simple. All I get is a sense of more holistic. It's just whole. We're just whole. We're just not all broken up. And so from the wholeness, the perspectives make more sense as far as, like, what we see as above. As the above and so the below. As the outer is the reflection of the inner. And yeah, we are creating, like, yeah, lots of us who've been on the journey for quite a while, we can honestly be like, guys, it's working. We're doing it. We're shape-shifting the world so it serves more people. We will have to continue to see. Ooh, what's code 146? Why does that resonate with me so hardcore? Amit! As in code today. Interesting. Your animation of us being in vortex of star energy is what? Sweet! Sweet, you guys! Okay, yeah. This is me. This is me, you guys. I think I'm done. Go check out, well, I'm going to go check out Roots and Fifth. But you guys just have a glorious day, and you know that means, like, in the highs, in the lows, in the, I want to have something else that rhymes with lows. In the highs and the lows and the... We need Rochelle! We need Rochelle! Basically, just love the shit out of yourself. And so that you can just love people. And because that's all there is. It's just pure heart love and light to continue to shine light into some of the darkest areas of our universal energy field, of our vision. We're literally going from one bubble of perception to like, oh, look, not as feeling good, not as feeling good, dying, crushing the world, destruction, control, domination, and fear. That we're like, oh, we can love it all and heal and rise into the Aquarian age like beautiful flower hippies. It's gorgeous. You guys, I love you. And I love the love that we all share together. And I do. And I love the service and the reflection that we're bringing to the world. And by gosh, I'm just happy we all found each other, you guys, for real, legit. I love you loads. I'll keep you updated. Just send a little love bomb over to my family, if you wouldn't mind. That would be a nice thing to do. Oh, so guess what I'm gonna do today, you guys? I'm gonna be editing videos all day, except that's a lie, because I've got a little friend. I'm going for a walk with a friend who has a dog. And I have an appointment this morning, so I'm actually like dun, 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 dun. I have like a busy life. Thanks for this midnight connection. Right, Roots. See what I'm talking? Same. I'm like, thank God. See, life is way better than it used to be. For me, not waking up in alleyways. Yay! Not waking up in alleyways, blackout drunk. I'm so happy to just be awake. And JK, Amit, Detroit 2, please, someone asked for it, so I'm spreading it. Brilliant. I always miss that sometimes. So, girls, and this is what I'm talking about. Is that me too, but I miss the celebration. What I miss is like meeting up and having like a like a boogie, like, you know, a proper fun boogie. I just am pretty happy and wild, completely sober. So, or like what did Roots mention something about like stoned rambles. I'm like, I'm quite happy to meet up for a cup of coffee and a bit of a spliff. But otherwise I literally get pretty juiced. Look guys, it's 3 in the morning and I'm like juiced up. I'm gonna do a bit of yoga practice, and then I'm just gonna be editing after my walk and after my whatever, my walk. And what else did I say? I have a meeting at 8 o'clock this morning. So yeah. So yeah, I still want to meet up. Like, this is where we got to all somehow group our love and our resources. Now, I have done a 24-hour festival in the past. Alta Love, I'm sure, could do an epic event that like is super affordable, can bring lots of people together and like just chat and eat food and like drink. I mean, drink all night. No. What I meant to say is dance all night. Although, I mean, in fairness, if people wanted to have booze, they could do that. I wouldn't judge them. And coffee, right? Straight up. And do you know what else? Sugar. Like, if you get a hard, like a proper, especially if you don't eat sugar all the time, and then you have, I had a bag of sweets, like this is going years back, but I'd been really kind of coming off the sugar. And then the guy I was dating at the time, we had a massive fucking row. We just like, we're not even talking to each other. So I ended up going to the shop and getting us like a whole bunch, like 3 or 4 bags of sugar sweets. And we just sat there like watching the movie, eating the sugar sweets. The following day I had a fucking like headache. But it was like a hangover headache. And I was like, what? Why is my head fucking hurt? And I was like, oh, it's the sugar. And then I realized alcohol and sugar, man, they literally are the same thing. Just one's, but alcohol is just a little bit more potente. Oh, fifth world, me too. I'm also really intrigued by microdosing on LSD component, especially the psilocybin from, is that the word? From What are you what is that? She's mushrooms. So yeah, I like celebrate, basically just super loving celebration. Yeah, medicines. Same, I get that with coffee and I don't need to. Miss Holly Ann, I used to fantasize Unity Consciousness would be a worldwide dance party. Totally. Like that's, so maybe like once a month or twice a month, there's like these really high vibrational celebrate life dance parties, maybe like moon parties or whatever. And then when we're not having high vibration celebration time, it's like just being in like being outside, doing a bit of gardening. And like, I swear to God, in New Paradigm, nobody needs to like labor or work for more than like a couple hours a day. I'm pretty sure we can get most of the heavy duty, especially when you're in community and everybody's working on each other or working on themselves and responsible and one just, it just all makes so much sense to me that I'm like, guys, and I'm pretty sure you do too. Microdosing, that's the expression. I only learned about this thing called microdosing like 2 years ago, and somebody, the way they described it, I thought it was actually really interesting. Yeah, same. Oh, you guys. Let's do it. Let's meet up and do plant medicine together, you guys. Who knows? Maybe we'll all come together as a tribe and then end up, oh, hi! Here you are. JK. So, and me either. I love how you guys have a little like, sorry, I can't type today, but, and then me either, and like there's like typos. Anywho, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pop over. I like the conversation, those with more experience, because I haven't actually done mushrooms in like well over 10 years. And I've never done this microdosing. So yeah, feel free to share. Roots, we should get together. We should try something. Come to Devon and then we will try it. We will see what happens. We can like go outside. Anyway, how funny. Synth. Yeah, right. And that's like, yeah. Honestly, like that's the whole point of it. Anything that kind of helps us be adjusted here. And then next level, once we're all adjusted, it's just something in ceremony for insight and celebration, really. But naturally, exactly. And here's the thing, like, you know, all the radio frequency and the chemtrail and the food source and the da-da-da-da. The reason why I think a lot of us are being guided to plant medicine is that it actually aligns us more to our natural state, because most of us are living in hive mind environments, which kind of break us down, dumb us down, and numb us out. And or we're around or having to face a human collective consciousness, which is completely robotic and or numbed and or sick. And so those of us being guided, regardless of its legal status, being guided to certain plant-based medicine is that it helps us remember. Think plant is the one microbiome kind of biological anchor here. So we align with the plant, it makes sense. And all Aborigine kind of native tribes would say that the plants give us insight into how to live here, because they live here in harmony. In harmony. See how the plants have been here since the dawn of time? They never destroyed nothing. We've been here for a few thousand years and we're about to fucking destroy the planet and everything that lives on it. So, you know, fantastic story, really quite exciting, but let's change it. And so this is us changing it, going basically that vision of like a more hippie world, like less labor, a lot more creativity, or like the Avatar vibration. I get that with Avatar the movie, where we could just like ride dragons and like meditate around trees and like dance. Like I honestly am like, can I just sit outside or frolic about and like make daisy chain flower crowns? And maybe in the evening put on like glitter and like have a little bit of a boogie. I'm like, life is pretty simple, you know? So there. Okay, I love how like we finish and then I talk on for another 25 minutes. The few times in my life that I've done mushrooms specifically, because I've never done the other, I've never done LSD or chemical psychedelic. Mushrooms, just the few times where I had like profound and positive good trips, they would really often just connect me to like this awareness. It's the same awareness, weirdly. Like it's always been here kind of thing, this sort of abstract awareness. Only a fairy rides my blue dragon avatar. Oh gosh, I love you guys. I just feel at home here, you know? Neurogenesis properties? I don't know. LSD, I think that's huge. Yeah, terminal parents, and like, and even things like MDMA and ecstasy, I think have been used, and again, microdosing perhaps, but microdosing on LSD and or MDMA and ecstasy, that's another one that they've been trialing, I believe, for depression, to help with depression, and even weirdly, things that have helped with cancer, basically just it's just stuff that realigns people to be in love with themselves rather than in conflict and hatred, right? Hey, and Amit, I'm still curious about that thing you said about Anunnaki, and I'm like, it's like slightly worrying. Roots, yeah, they're incredible tools. See, I love that way of looking at it. They're tools for our alignment, for our expansion, but they're not the end goal. That's something that I was aware of even in my early partying days, but because I'd had these awakenings, I remember, this is legit. So I'm 20 years old, still trying to be the squeaky clean, good Christian, disciplined girl from high school. And then, yeah, having these kind of awakenings and shifts. And then I just remember actually like consciously being like, well, I'm not going to live in fear of drugs, because I knew I had peers, I had colleagues, I had friends that were all doing it at the weekend, and I started to feel left out. So you could say it was like a little bit of exclusion factor, but there was another part of me that's like, I'm not going to live in fear of this stuff. Of course, you try it and you're like, you're good to go. This stuff isn't really harmful. Well, of course, that's binary. There's always a double side, right? There's always going to be a kind of edge to all this stuff. Grows brain cells. What does? Disconnected. Yeah. I feel like these medicines are just a way to kind of reconnect us, especially and much more powerfully if we are intentional with it, versus most of us, our young party days are just like, because we don't know what we're doing, because we're just rebelling basically, because all this shit is illegal usually growing up. We're just teenagers going, fuck you, society. Right. Okay, so there's like healing brain. Oh, right. House of Eli YT channel will help with Anunnaki info. She's Inanna. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm curious. Ooh, I don't know as much about that stuff. All right, good glue. Hilarious, you guys. Okay. So basically, I love you all. And I want to hear about Anunnaki DNA as well. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. You guys have given me some nice procrastination things to do today. So when I'm off editing floor, I'm going to watch Last Roots. I'm going to watch some of Fifth, and then I'm going to go watch, what did you say? Eli something? Love bombs all around, all you guys. I love you so much. You inspire me to no end. I'm so beyond grateful for you guys, and I really do look forward to showing up here most days to just connect and be like, what's up, everybody? Sometimes cry, sometimes laugh. Thank you, Emmett. See, you were reading my mind. I didn't quite vocalize it because I couldn't remember. House of Eli. Thank you. You guys have just a brilliant day. Hey, Kelly, lovely to see you. Kelly, you look, your name looks new to me. I am Sophia. All of the plants are under my dome. Oh, you know, I'm really looking forward to watching all of this stuff evolve for all of us and to sharing the journey with you. This is quite cool, you know, being slightly borderline depressive, suicidal for one's long life, and then getting to this point where, like, actually really stoked to kind of re-enter the earth. Does that make sense to you guys? I feel like I'm like re-emerging, but from a sense of knowingness and like connectedness and understanding, so I'm not in fear anymore. But I'm like, I'm gonna stop talking. Look, we're approaching a 1 hour mark, but there's so much, and this is another thing happening. I don't know if it's happening to you, but like there's so many subtle insights and layers, and like, but I know I have to keep resting and meditating to integrate it, to be able to effectively communicate it, because it's so kind of weird and wild and profound, right? Oh, this is awesome, you guys. Oh, you guys, yeah, I love you. I know we're all blessed, and we're all really rather beautiful, powerful creators here for the benevolence of grace of human evolution of consciousness. It is great, and let's keep creating. Hey, Spirit Wind, how are you? Thank you for your messages on Instagram. I know. I have every intention of visiting Montana still, FYI. And checking out the hot springs and stuff. Ah, 5th. Oh, God. Okay, and then I'm like, there's snake energy, the blood and water piece. I'm like, there's so much, like, this is, like, mythical, but somehow it's totally anchored into the actual body. The body of Christ, and like how we're remembering. And like one of you, we were talking about like the masculines, the electrical, the feminine is the magnetic. So okay, I'm still having to brew on all of this, but I know that we're helping each other, right? Okay, anywho, you guys, I'm gonna go now. I love you. Have a wonderful day, and I always look forward to seeing you guys. And it's really nice. It's nice to all be kind of connected in different areas, right? Okay. Yeah, thank you, my brothers and my sisters. I love you so much. And right on. Okay, so there's like deeper insights. It's all connected to the collective, and we'll just keep noodling over it. I love you guys. Some of you send me an email if you want to. I'd love to get your phone numbers and just have sort of the odd exchange from time to time if insights drop in that are worthy of noodling over. Love you guys. Have a great day. What day is it today? It's Thursday. It's just